Hour. Rick Wilson tweets, just a regular Thursday and a regular infrastructure week where two shady AF Russian business associates of the president's personal attorney get arrested while trying to flee the country. Perfectly normal. Nothing more to see here. Nothing more to see here. No questions. Okay, I have a couple questions. Thank God former U.S. Attorney Glenn Kirchner is here. Good morning, Glenn Kirchner.
Hey, good morning, Steph. How are you?
I'm frightened. I am. I just. You cannot. Right, you cannot predict these news cycles anymore, can you?
No, it's insane.
I mean, and you wrote the most frightening tweet. You said we need to ask the frightening question: what will Trump do next to distract from the mass murders of our Kurdish allies that he orchestrated? And whatever the next thing is, will the Republicans let him do that too? That is the frightening question, right?
Yeah, and here's my concern. Well, first of all, Steph, I'm thrilled to be Chris Hayes' opening act. Okay?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And I'm actually going to be on with Chris for his live special tonight at 8 p.m. in front of a live audience. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Now that I got my plug in, Steph, so here's my concern. When I look at what Trump just did, pulling our troops out of Syria and alienating virtually all, with one or two exceptions, virtually all of the Republican senators. Now, these are the people that he needs most to have his back because he's going to be impeached. And the only question is, will he be convicted and removed by the Senate? You would think he would want to curry favor with some of the only people in the world who are still pretending to be with him. That is the Senate Republicans. What does he do? He leads the Kurds to the slaughter because he had a phone call with Erdogan. I got to tell you, and he does it at his own peril because he alienated the people he needs most. What the hell is going on there? That's what frightens me. Who will make the next phone call to him? Will it be Putin? Will it be Kim Jong-un? And tell him, hey, I want you to do this. The next thing you know, he's picking up his phone and he's tweeting out some harebrained, maneuver.
Well, Glenn, who knows what's, on those calls, right? To the Sunday call with Erdogan, any calls with Putin. This is obviously some combination of, Putin and Erdogan's bidding that benefits, once again, Donald Trump and harms the United States of America.
Yeah, and Steph, these calls that are, hidden away in the double-secret probation server at the White House, they're going to make Richard Nixon's calls look like prank phone calls telling somebody your refrigerator is running. You better go get it. I can't imagine what would prompt multiple government officials to be so appalled by what the president has been saying to world leaders that they have to bury it in some secret server. I only hope Congress can use its subpoena power, get its hands on these calls, show them to the American people, and expose why this man needs to be dislodged from the Oval Office.
What do you think the chances are of us can you subpoena that server? What are the, I mean, it just seems like this is all so obvious, as you just alluded to, Glenn. The latest story today is Trump keeps trying to make it about one whistleblower. Obviously, this is the story today. At least four other national security. Everybody was hair on fire, actually even before this call, because it was so obvious what Trump was doing, right?
And the one whistleblower basically said, Trump. I'm going to paraphrase. Trump withheld or held hostage funds that had been appropriated by Congress to go to Ukraine to help them protect against unlawful Russian aggression. He held those back, and he said, I need you to do me a favor first. Get some fake dirt on Biden. Well, that's what the whistleblower basically said, and that's what the call summary basically says. So what in the world? So who in their right mind is crediting Trump's attack on the whistleblower? It's just foolish.
Right. So, Glenn, put this what just happened yesterday with these Giuliani associates getting pinched at the airport. But I mean, obviously, this is all connected, isn't it? They're Ukrainian. I mean, you had tweeted about, my God, there's no end to Trump's rampant brazen lawlessness, telling Secretary Tillerson to work with DOJ to kill a criminal prosecution against one of Giuliani's clients, corrupt to the core. Can you paint this whole picture for us about what the connection is with all of this?
I think there's been a lot of this sort of underground, nefarious, political crimes and shenanigans going on And it's being exposed bit by bit because you know what? A conspiracy, Steph, almost always unravels in my 30 years of experience as a prosecutor. And when it begins to unravel, and when law enforcement begins to get whiff of what's going on and who's involved, they will start to build cases against whatever co-conspirators they can at the moment. Now, often it's the low-hanging fruit. And boy, I don't know that any fruit hangs lower than these guys, Fruman and Parnas, when you look at what they were involved in. So once they pick off some of the lesser co-conspirators, then we build. We work our way up. I can't say at this moment whether Giuliani is culpably involved and will be arrested, tomorrow, the next day, next month. It sure looks and feels like that from what I know of working conspiracy cases, based on just how inextricably intertwined these guys are with Giuliani, with the Ukrainian effort to dig up dirt, and with apparently campaign finance violations galore, that if I were a betting man, I would bet 100 to 1 odds that Giuliani is going down next.
I'm sorry. I just chuckled warmly. Okay. Sorry. I did a little Schadenfreude deliciousness there. So you also talked about the letter from White House counsel. You said it's a combination of repurposed Trump tweets and something an undergrad criminal justice student might write. I legally, it's just nonsense, right? But how does it play out legally to just say, you said the fact that Trump has announced he will not let the Constitution stand in the way of him remaining president is precisely why his removal from office is more certain today than it was yesterday. Now more than ever, justice is coming. Oh God, I hope you're right.
Yeah, it's not a legal document. It's a PR document, and it really is sad. We make fun of it because it's so laughable, but it's sad that a White House counsel would produce a written work product and put it out into the sort of, stream of public consciousness, because it's such a laughable document. And the one example that I find most mortifying and, frankly, the funniest is when Cipollone says that due process applies to an impeachment hearing. I did a double take. I would have done a spit take if I had coffee in my mouth. So,
that'd be funny.
And so I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know the Supreme Court had ever held that, because so Criminal Law 101, the due process clause of the Fifth Amendment, it protects us all in criminal prosecution. It says the government can't run roughshod over you when they are criminally charging you and trying you in a court of law. The due process clause has nothing to do with impeachment, which is the political process. But you know what? White House counsel just said it, so he must have the goods to back it up. What does he do? He drops a footnote. I go to the footnote, and you know what that footnote is? And I'm gonna put it in layman's terms. A judge in a 1992 case was sitting in court and said, I think maybe the due process clause should apply to impeachment. And then, so that's, first of all, that's the trial court judge ruminating.
Yeah.
That is about the farthest thing from legal precedent imaginable, right? And not only that, in that 1992 case in which the judge thought out loud that maybe it applies, that case got reversed. So it's not even a good trial court opinion. It's insanity.
Yeah.
So here's the joke I've come up with, and I think it's apt. When I see him citing that kind of thing for authority, declaring what our Constitution means, it's kind of like a scientist who's writing a paper on gravity, and he drops a footnote supporting his position, and he cites a Roadrunner cartoon where Wile E. Coyote is standing in the middle of the air holding an anvil, and he's not falling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, Glenn, here's the main question I think I've been waiting to ask you is, so what's his Berman, right? This arrest obviously was SDNY, which is under Bill Barr's purview, right? I mean, as a former federal prosecutor, how did this happen? What do you think is going on with Barr? How did he? I mean, because obviously, I was going to ask you, your friend Matt Miller tweeted the DOJ's decision not to open a full criminal investigation into the Trump-Zelensky call when they already had an open probe into related matters looks even more suspicious today. And yet, this arrest happened. So what is going on with Bill Barr and the Justice Department about this? do you think?
Yeah, this indictment is a beautiful thing, and it restores at least a little bit of my faith in what's going on at the Justice Department. I continue to have faith in the 115, line workers there doing the hard work of the people every day. I have no faith in the leadership, the Bill Barrs of the world. But when I saw Berman said, you know what, basically, to heck with you, I found crime. I'm going to indict it, and I don't care what's going on at Main Justice, as we call it.
Could Bill Barr have stopped this, and why didn't he?
Yeah, that's I think the $64,000 question. Barr had the ability. Listen, he is the point person at the Department of Justice, and he oversees every single federal prosecution in the country, in all 94 U.S. attorneys' offices. He could have red-lighted this, but he didn't. Now, I don't know if he affirmatively green-lighted it, or he realized that, you know what, I've got my lead prosecutor, Berman, in the Southern District of New York, U.S. Attorney's Office, and I cannot now kill this case, this investigation, because it will be such overt, obvious corruption on my part, and I'm not willing to go there. This is my speculation, but Bill Barr didn't kill it. He could have killed it, and let's hope that means something good, even though we don't fully know what it means.
Is he finally turning on Trump, or what? I mean, because clearly, Matt is right that they went to him with what is a criminal complaint, and he was like, "Oh no, this is nothing. It's campaign finance. It's nothing." When clearly, the Zelensky call involved like foreign corrupt practices, bribery, extortion, any number of things, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if he's turning on Trump, but here's what I was thinking. Look, Trump made him look like garbage in the phone call to Zelensky, because Trump is like, listen, I want illegal help in the 2020 elections, and Ukraine, I want you to do it for me by giving me some phony dirt on Biden. And you know who I want you to call and to reach out to and to include in my illegal scheme? My attorney Giuliani, and he might as well have said my attorney Bill Barr.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Bill Barr and I didn't know and I wasn't involved in that illegal scheme and I hadn't coordinated with the president to be part of this cabal, I would be really, really pissed off. I'd be pissed off at Giuliani. I'd be pissed off at Trump.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are pulling me into your crimes, at least without
Well, except he's been going all over the world at Trump's behest trying to do this, right? I mean, he's
Well, yes and no. He's going all over the world. I have no flipping idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
We can assume that he's doing Trump's dirty dealing around the world, and maybe he is. But then, listen, if he's that dirty, why don't you kill the Southern District investigation into Giuliani's associates, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to read what's going on inside, where the loyalties and the alliances are forming and where they're breaking apart. But I'll tell you, I think this whole thing is just going to explode, and stuff is going to splatter every which way.
I agree. I love your happy clappiness. I know you've tweeted about the courts have all but laughed out loud at DOJ arguments in both the New York tax return case and the D.C. Mueller grand jury material case. I mean, and your hashtag that I love, Justice is Coming, that, I think having devoted your life to it, I think you really believe in that justice will prevail. And I love that. I love your new piece, Democrats' Trump impeachment inquiry should revisit the testimony of Michael Cohen. I mean, it's all really becoming one story, isn't it, Glenn?
Yes, and it's gonna blow wide open. And I maintain, and I've said this since day one, Trump will not be on the 2020 ticket.
I've said that too, Glenn. Are you going to Politicon? I have a more important question.
I don't know. Nobody's invited me.
Oh, well.
Do I need an invite?
I would like you to go, because listen, it's coming out day. I am gay and you're a straight married man, but I want to weep silently into your chest. I can. And
Stephanie.
For the Constitution and for America.
Jesus Christ,
as long
lady.
as we can do it over a Pabst Blue Ribbon and whatever your drink of choice is,
Yes.
I'm good with it.
Okay, good. Fantastic. See? That was
A
all above
Chardonnay.
board. Yes. That was all above board. All right. Glenn, thanks for your time as usual.
Thank you,
And
Steph. Great
keep
talking
up the
to you.
positive energy. I love hearing your legal take and just your belief in America. You are a patriot, sir.
Thank you. Will do.
All right. Thanks, Glenn.